Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game, and today, a re-review of Wave 6's the Soong. Now, this ship in Star Trek lore never had a proper name. It is Borg Type 03. But, yeah, from the two-part episode in Next Gen where Lore is in command of some renegade Borg, uh, this is a ship that I don't think Attack Wing quite did justice to. It is definitely scarier than the Enterprise D. Bigger, more powerful, more defensive. Would definitely win in a one-on-one fight. But does it really carry through? Does it really have that gusto? Let's take a look. Like I said, 6175. So raw stats, yeah, it's there, but you're paying a lot more points for it. After performing a 5 straight maneuver, if there are no enemy ships in your forward firing arc, you may perform an evade as a free action. Okay, that's nice, but it's so limited. It's you kind of sit there and go, really, why? It could have worked on a 5 and 6 straight. I know 6 is red, but give me that. It could have even worked on a 4. Now, this ship does have the very elusive 4 bank maneuver, which is kind of cool. But what kills the ship's maneuver dial is that the 3 turns, the only turns on this ship, are red. So what's my fix for this ship? 1, obviously needs to be recosted. But 2, it needs a 180 firing arc. This thing was so powerful, so threatening. It either needs to turn better, or it needs a better firing arc. And I can't really fix the maneuver dial, but I could pretty easily give it a 180 arc. Yeah, also this free evade. The Soong didn't care about evading. If this was instead plays a battle station token as a free action, yeah, that is a bit more threatening. Also, shouldn't necessarily happen after a 5 straight. Should maybe be if you perform a green maneuver. That would be cooler. 4 come about's nice, but I don't know. Generic, hasn't been repriced, and at this point, you look at 36 points and you go, I'd rather run a sphere. I'd rather run a tactical cube. Lots of ships I'd rather run than the Borg Type 03. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I really think that it is unfortunate. The only thing you're getting as an advantage of the Soong, you've got the independent faction built in, which is nice, but it's not everything. And at times that can have more of a drawback just because there are enough cards that target independent. Yeah. The slot loadout's nice. Double crew, weapon, tech, Borg. But Borg's always been something that's pricey. Threat analysis is a card that could go on here, gives you the battle station. That might make this better. I don't think it fixes it yet, but it does help. So, yeah, think about it at least. Lore is a very interesting captain. 7 skill, 4 points with talent slot. Add a crew upgrade slot to your upgrade bar, which is a nice little benefit. And during the roll attack die step of the combat phase, you may discard one of your crew upgrades to gain +1 attack die for that attack, which is fine. This is okay. It's a discard. It's not going to salvage a whole lot. I remember doing some interesting shenanigans way back in the day with Shroud. So you could discard a crew but save them with Shroud. Lore gave you potential there, but then that's using a Protect slot. It's really tough. Unless you can get a bunch of extra crew slots, throwing on Followers of Khan or something very cheap like that. 1 point crew help, but they don't fix it. But the last part of lore, you may assign any elite talent upgrade to your ship, regardless of faction restriction, and you do not pay a faction penalty when assigning any talent upgrade to your ship. So all of those talents that say can only be equipped to a Klingon, on a Klingon ship, Klingon captain, stuff like that. Lore is a veritable Swiss Army knife. So lore circumvents a lot of that, which helps. Lore, I think, continues to be useful as we see more cards, more talents working towards this idea of, oh, this is only going on a Romulan captain, on a Romulan ship, or lore. I used to always joke, like, diplomacy said can only be equipped to a Vulcan on a Vulcan captain on a Vulcan ship, or lore. And lore still remains that constant of, hey, he's going to break that rule. And he is a building piece. I don't think he's everything to the game, but I think he is still a very good card that you need to know about, that you need to plan for, and you should consider running him if you really like those kind of talents. Hugh is another captain here. All of your crew upgrades cost 1 less point. We first saw this on Pike back on Enterprise. Here's a little extra bonus. You do not pay a faction penalty when assigning any Borg upgrades to your ship. Kind of cool. What hurts Hugh is 4 skill, 2 points, no talent slot. Which, okay, thematic. Don't get me wrong. Very thematic. He will more than pay for himself. Or at the very least, he should pay for himself. And it's hard not to like a free captain if that's all you're going for, right? If you have no points to spare, you have at least 2 crew, Hugh on a ship, there you go, you're covered. But Hugh's never really a captain I reach for because the 4 skill just doesn't excite me. I think it's the same reason I've never truly liked Discount Picard. I want my captains to do something once they're on my ship. I'm fine with them giving me discounts. That's great, but give me something more. If Hugh added even a crew slot, that would make him way better, but he doesn't. So that's okay. Diversionary Tactics. This is a talent from a long time ago. 5 points, action, discard this card and one of your crew upgrades to target a ship that's within range 1 to 2 of your ship and not in the forward firing arc, your forward firing arc. Target ship must discard one of its crew upgrades of its choice. Boo. And cannot attack your ship this round. Well, that much is cool. I think this works best in a mission where you are the only ship. It could be one-on-one. It could be that you're outnumbered. But diversionary tactics, for it to be any good at all, you have to make sure that you're not getting shot at with this card. And not giving that ship another shot. If it's a swarm fleet, if it's even a 2-on-2 battle, this does nothing. They just will target the other ship, and that's a waste. Having played a bunch more missions, I do think this card is better than it used to be, or used to be in my esteem, because I do think it does have that mission use. But as far as the competitive 130, 120, 100 point aspect, no. It's not where it's at. Then we have Experimental Link. This is a Borg talent, and, the Borg have never truly been known for their elite talents because they're collective. They're not individuals, and elite talents really represent individuals. So for 5 points, during the Modify Attack Dice step of the combat phase, you may discard this card and either spend up to 3 of your drone tokens or disable up to 3 of your crew upgrades. Boy, that's a hefty price. To re-roll a number of your attack dice equal to the number of drone tokens you spent or crew upgrades you disabled with this card. Yikes! 3 disables, 3 future actions for a re-roll of an attack die, or 3 attack dice, a 50-50 chance to hit. Whew! Yeah, you're not making yourself better when you bring this card. You're just not. If you really have the crew to spare, I guess if you've run Gen Cisco and Koth and somebody else who has no utility, then this is worth it. But yikes, no. The Borg got photon torpedoes. For an attack with a target lock, you spend your target lock, disable this card to perform the attack at range 2 to 3 with 5 dice. If the target ship is damaged by this attack, destroy one additional active shield on that ship if possible. For 6 points. For 6 points, you can roll less attack dice than you natively roll. I guess this is maybe possibly interesting on a scout cube. And that's about it. And even then, I don't truly know that you can run it. Maybe it could work on a Brel, but even then, you're getting 1 extra attack die for the nice potential benefit of damaging an active shield. I do think that all photon torpedoes should have this destroy 1 additional active shield clause built into them. I think that would have been a nice secondary fringe benefit of photon torpedoes, right? They're doing more damage. But then we have forward weapons array. You can tell they were trying to make the Borg work and give you a reason to run not the spheres. Attack discard this card to target up to 3 ships in your forward firing arc. Make a separate attack with this weapon against each of these ships. If you attack 1 ship with this weapon, add +3 dice. So you get a 6 attack die. 6 attack die shot. If you attack 2 ships with this weapon, add +1 die to each. And if you attack 3, you're rolling 3 dice with each. And it costs 5 more points for any non-Borg ship, so you'd be paying 12. Or you can pay 6 points to put on a Borg. This card was overpriced from the beginning. I love the concept. I love the concept of multi-attack, multi-targeting built in from the get-go. The problem is, 3 attack dice to multi-target 1 time, not worth it. It's a forward weapons array. It's built into the ship. Why is it discarding? This would be a great time token card. A great card to revisit. Throw 3, 4, 5 time tokens on it. Say it takes a while to recharge. Even then, 5 is excessive. 4, I can make do with it. It can still cost a decent amount, but I think this also needs to be base 4 dice. Subspace Distortion. I believe this is one of the cards that's been outlawed. I don't know. Let's go. 6-point tech action. Discard this card. Perform this action. Each time you defend this round, instead of rolling your normal defense dice, roll a number of defense dice equal to your starting shield value. During the modified defense dice step of the combat phase, you may re-roll a number of your blank results equal to your active shields. You cannot attack this round. Sorry, thinking of something else. Because Subspace Distortion would make sense to jump off the board or jump clear across the board. Do I like this? In principle, I like the card. Rolling defense dice equal to your shield value, that's interesting to me. Because you can increase your shield value. There's a lot of ways to increase your shield value. So you could roll 6, 7, 8, 10 shields. Re-rolling blank results equal to your active shields. That's pretty cool. What I don't like is that it's an action discard. Again, as an action, cool. It's better than evade. You're focusing on defense. I don't love the losing your attack this round. I might say you have to attack with -1, -2 dice. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Let me know what you think. But I think there's ways to salvage this card. The concept was good. The execution was poor. And I think it's because it has Borg as a faction. If it didn't have Borg, it would have been a better card. Now, I think it could be Borg, and it would be a decent card. All right. We get some crew. Yes, there was a decent amount of stuff on this pack. We get Croesus. He is Borg and independent. For 5 points, action, discard this card, target a ship at range 1. Yes, range 1 only. Disable 1 crew or tech of your choice on the target ship, then steal 1 crew upgrade of your choice from that ship, even if it exceeds your ship's restrictions. If you put it on a Borg captain, you have to spend 2 drone tokens to perform this action. So don't put it on a Borg captain. I've liked Croesus in theory. I like stealing a crew. I like disabling crew or tech. I don't love his range limitation, and I feel for 5 points he should at least work at range 1 to 2. That being said, he is letting you do 2 things to hurt your opponent at the same time. Right, disabling and stealing. You can knock out a tech that they're utilizing, steal something. He works through shields. There's a decent amount to like here. Bosis is 2 points. If an enemy ship causes any of your crew upgrades to be discarded, place those upgrades face down beneath this card. Then as an action, discard this card and all the cards beneath it. For each card that was discarded by this action, including this card, you gain +1 attack die when attacking with your primary weapon this round. And if you have him on a Borg captain, you spend drone tokens to do stuff. Bosis is interesting protection. He was an interesting protection piece a long time ago, back when discarding was an effective strategy. Now, not as much. I don't know. I still think he's important to have. I like that you keep your discards here and then you get bonus attack dice. Because at worst, he is the worst case scenario. He's giving you an extra attack die for an action. Now that's not great, right? And you're spending 2 points. You're doing a lot to get there. You've spent a crew, opportunity cost, a lot of those choices. But you protected yourself. So, I don't know. I don't hate Bosis. All right, we've got 3 cards left, I think, here. We've got Torsus. Action. Discard this card to increase your captain's skill number by +2 until the end phase. If this card's to play to a Borg ship with a captain or Borg captain, you have to spend a drone token to do it. This should not be an action in today's world. It should just be static captain skill boost. Borg could really use it. It should just exist. All right. Goval. I like Goval. Discard this card at any time to prevent one of your other crew upgrades from being discarded or disabled. If this crew upgrade is deployed to a ship with Borg captain, which you don't do this, you must spend a drone token to use this ability. For 1 point, Goval is excellent protection. I recall using Goval in combination with Second of 5 a lot. You use Second of 5, discard Goval, keep Second of 5 around, have another use of Second of 5, steal 2 things from your opponent. Lots of fun. Goval's protection, but he's also utilizing your own crew a second time. Second use of Nanclus, second use of Varel. Basically, all the cool crew you want to use a second time, Goval's there to make them work. Goval, I think the last time I did top crew, I forget if it was 10 or 15, but Goval was pretty high up on the list. And then the last card in this pack is Transwarp Conduit, and you can see from the OP slash there, this has been banned in OP play because it's a warp jump-like effect. It is a Borg upgrade. It is 6 points. It's action. Discard this card to remove your ship from the play area and discard all tokens that are beside your ship except auxiliary power tokens. During the end phase, place your ship back in the play area. You cannot place your ship within range 1 to 3 of any enemy ship. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Borg ship. Yeah. You want a jump card? Fine. Here you go. You can have it. It works fine. It's overpriced. Can't really be discounted because nothing truly discounts these Borg upgrades. I know Balana kind of discounts them, maybe 7. I forget which one. There's too many cards for me to truly track. But there's minor ways to discount them, but not truly. And boy, it would be really hard to run multiples of these just from a pure price standpoint. So yeah, overall, this pack's interesting. Some good cards here. Goval, Croesus to an extent, but short of... Oh, and lore. Definitely lore. But short of that, this pack isn't everything. It's kind of interesting. I think there's some fun there. But it's thematic. It's meant for thematic play. It is not competitive. This ship has no competitive history that I'm aware of, and I highly doubt it ever will. You could discount this thing, not 10 points, but maybe 8 points, make it a 30-point ship. It might see a little bit of play because it's a 6175 at 30 points, but it's still a pretty bad dial. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. Until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care.